Hey class, this is Mrs. Gilling here. I am your World History B instructor this quarter, and I'm so excited to work with you and to get to know each and every one of you. So in World History this quarter, we are learning about imperialism to the Cold War. So the purpose of this video is to, one, let you know what you'll be learning about this course or different assignments, and then two, to let you know about your upcoming project and discussion assignments. And then at the end of this, I'll give you information that you need on how to complete your very first video assignment. So moving on, I wanted to let you know a little bit about who I am. So I am Mrs. Gilling, like I said. I live in Payette, Idaho with my husband, Ethan, right here. He's an onion farmer. So right now we're in the middle of planting, so it's pretty busy time for him. But this is him on the tractor with our two little girls. So we have Taylor, who's 3, and she's a little chatterbox. She will talk your ear off. She just got a trampoline for Easter, so she's pretty excited about that and enjoys helping her little sister Skylar over here. Skylar is a year and a half now, and she is the funniest kid. She doesn't know too many words, but the words that she knows are very important. So 2 of her favorite words are more and candy. So more candy. So she's got life pretty figured out here, I'd say. And this is the 2 girls just the other day on Easter. Actually, pretty cool story. We were sitting in the living room and it was pretty quiet. And then all of a sudden, my 3-year-old Taylor, she goes, "Mom, the Easter Bunny came." And I was like, "What are you talking about? It's like Friday. Why would the Easter Bunny be here?" And sure enough, I looked, and on the window was this sign, and somebody had come and egged our house, which means they came and they put a whole bunch of Easter eggs in the yard. So the girls thought that was the coolest thing ever. They were super happy to go out and have some eggs to pick up. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's one more member of our family that's really important that you need to meet. I know your life can't move on without it, and that is our standard poodle. Her real name is Heidi, but sometimes we call her Princess Poodle Pants. So there you go, our standard poodle Heidi, important member of our family. Well, now that you know who I am, let's jump into your course assignments, what you'll be doing this quarter and what everything counts for. So first things first, you have your checkpoints. If you've been with iSucceed for a while, you know what these are. They're found at the end of each unit, and they help you review what you just studied to make sure you understand. So you have 3 attempts to complete each of these checkpoints. Now I encourage you, if you take the first one and you don't get 100%, please take it again. Take it again so you can get a higher score and so you can make sure that you understand the material. And if on the second try you still don't get 100%, take it again. It's really important to work really hard on these checkpoints. I've seen so many students not pass the course just because they go, okay, well, I just got through the checkpoint. I only got 10%, but I got through it. Don't. Just take your time, make sure you're learning, and go as many attempts as you need to either get 100% or get through your 3 attempts. There's also discussions. So this is really important. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. But in each unit, you will complete 1 discussion post. Now, in Flip Switch, there's different prompts that are listed. If you've been in other courses, you've seen those. I don't want you to do the prompts that are in each of the lessons in Flip Switch. I don't want you to do those. Instead, I want you to do the ones that I'm going to put in the teacher notes at the very beginning of each unit right before the discussion. And so you'll answer 1 question instead. You will not be completing the prompts that are already in Flip Switch. Instead, you will be completing a current event assignment. Please look at the discussion rubric, teacher notes, and video assignments for more information. So like I said, towards the end of this video, I'll give you some more information on what that entails. But those are with 15%. You also have your exams, pretty straightforward. There were 20%. You have 6 unit exams and then a vocabulary exam. You get 1 attempt on these, so please work hard. The good news is I do have study guides that I've made to help you with these. You will find these at the beginning of each unit embedded in the teacher notes. So right there at the very first part. If you have any questions on where to find those, reach out to me, but I definitely have those available so you can do better on the test. And I'll be honest, the world history tests are pretty difficult, but if you do take the time to use this study guide, you'll see that they're a lot easier for you. So then your final exam, it's worth 5% of your grade, and it covers material from each of the units. The good news is Unit 6, the very last unit, it's a review unit that covers everything that you've studied. So that helps a lot. Plus, there's also going to be a final exam study guide for that as well. And there's also projects. So in world history, there's 2 projects that you'll complete. The first one is an essay or a slideshow about the impact of British imperialism, and the second one is an essay or slideshow about globalization. And when I make these video assignments that you'll have every unit, I'm going to go over project requirements, steps to help you be successful on those. So after we get through this, we'll talk about the beginning of your first project. And those 2 projects combined are worth 20%. So a pretty big deal. If you don't do the projects, it's really hard for you to pass the course. In a way, these are actually pretty easy points to get because you get 3 attempts. So if you turn your projects in the first time and you're not happy with your grade, you can do it again. And then you can make some revisions after I've given you some feedback, and then you can turn it in one more time if you need to after that. So it's really an attempt for you to learn and to get some good grades in the course. A few more things. You have video assignments, as you probably do in your other classes. They're worth 5%. After you watch your videos, all you're going to do is go to our Google Classroom. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know and I can get you set up. But you should have received an email that says that you've been invited to go to the Google Classroom. As long as you follow the instructions in that email, you should be good to go. But if you can't get in for some reason, let me know and I'll get you the code and get you set up. But you'll go to our Google Classroom in order to turn in these video assignments. All they are short questions. These are pretty much an easy 5%. Watch the video, answer questions. Literally the questions say things like, what is your name? Did you watch the video? Do you have any questions about your project? In a nutshell, those are the questions you're going to be answering. So pretty straightforward. Please turn these in. And please watch the videos because honestly, if you watch the videos, you will do so much better on your projects and on your discussion posts. Then you have your project steps. So there's about 3 things that you'll turn in for your project steps. There's just kind of like the part 1, and then there's outlines, and there's rough drafts. The nice thing about these is as long as you turn them in and you've completed them fully, you get 100%. Even if the material is not 100% accurate, I just want to see that you're working on your project and getting started. So as long as you have it completed, you have a completed outline or a completed rough draft, you get 100%. If you're missing parts, you get 0%, and I'll say, hey, finish this. You'll turn that back into me, and then you'll get 100%. So please don't skip over these. 10% is a pretty big deal to just get by turning something in and by doing your assigned work. And if you do turn the project steps, it gives me time to give you feedback so that you'll be able to make changes before you turn in your final draft. And that way you'll get a better score on your final draft. So be looking out for those and let me know if you have questions along the way. And then you have your workbooks, and these are 10%. Do not ever go on without getting 100% on your workbooks. You have an unlimited number of attempts. The reason why we have the workbooks in there are so that you can make sure you're understanding what you've been studying, what you've been reading. If you understand the workbooks, then you understand the material. If you don't, then you need to go back and read again. It's not the purpose of school to go through and just see how fast you can finish or just to get by, but it's to learn. And the workbooks are there to help you learn. So we're 10%. I really hope you'll work hard on those. So let's move into project 1, what you can be doing. So first off, here's the prompt. Analyze the impact of British imperialism on economics, politics, society, and the environment using primary and secondary sources. So the cool thing here is you're going to be learning all about British imperialism, and you're not going to be doing it just by the textbook, but you're actually going to be looking at some documents and some pictures and some cartoons to help you to understand the impact of British imperialism. And everything that you need for this essay is found within the unit, so within FlipSwitch. So you don't have to worry about going and doing outside research. You just have to focus on the material that's already inside. So in order to analyze the impact of British imperialism and to look at these primary and secondary sources, you have some steps that you're going to take. So here's the assignment. To address the prompt, you'll work through several steps that help you think about the topic. By the end of this project, you will have the information needed and much of the writing finished to submit an essay or a slideshow presentation. So in FlipSwitch, it says that you're going to be completing a 5-paragraph essay that goes over the information on British imperialism. I know that some students don't like essays. That as soon as they hear that word, they go, another essay. I'm going to give you the option. You can either do an essay or you can do a slideshow presentation. But if you do a slideshow presentation, it still has to include the same information. You can just, instead of putting the essay form, put the introduction on one slide, the second or the first body paragraph on the slide, so on and so forth. And if that's something that's easier for you, then you're more than welcome to do it that way. Now, the cool thing about this project is it's literally done step by step in FlipSwitch. So if you were following those steps, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. But if you wait until the very end to do it, then it can be kind of stressful. So I really encourage you to go step by step, lesson by lesson, and complete what it tells you to do so that you can get it done easier. Here's what you're going to be doing this unit. So this is what you're going to focus on in the next 5 lessons. So in lesson 2, you're going to analyze a map of Great Britain, its colonies, and the products each one produced, as well as a graph that contrasts the economies of Great Britain and its colony in India. Write a 1-paragraph analysis and save it to a Google or Word doc. So you're going to create a document that pretty much says, project number 1, review of the different documents, something like that. Project number 1, resources. You figure out what to title it, but you're going to create a document. We're going to put all of these on. And as you work on them, you'll just, underneath the next one, put your information. So on your first one, you're literally just going to be looking at a map, and it's all there in FlipSwitch. You're looking at a map and a chart, and you're going to have some questions that they ask you. You're going to fill out those questions, and you're going to use what you learned to write 1 paragraph. That's it. A 1-paragraph analysis, and then you're going to save it. And then in lesson 3, you're going to review a political cartoon called The Imperial Octopus. And the same thing, it'll give you some guiding questions, and based off those, you're going to write a 1-paragraph analysis and then save it in the same document that you did for lesson number 2. Lesson number 4, you're going to review a primary source about the Indian mutiny of 1857. Write a 1-paragraph analysis, and then that's it. So once you've done those 3 things, you're going to turn in your 3 paragraphs to me, and I will review them for you and get back to you and say, hey, you did a great job. Or I might say, hey, look at the political cartoon again. You know, do you think it means this for sure? And I'll give you some feedback to help you to see if you're on the right track in regards to your understanding of British imperialism. So that's your project. That's all you have to do for this unit. I don't want you to stress out right now about the whole essay, the whole big picture. Just focus right now on analyzing those primary and secondary resources. And if you do that, then you'll be on a great track, great start. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I have office hours on Thursdays, on Thursday nights from 8 to 9. And any other time, I'm available Google Hangouts. I have it on my phone. So if you just have a quick question, feel free to log on there and shoot me a message or send me an email or give me a call. I'm more than willing to help. So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is your current event discussion assignment. So like I said, you are not going to do the prompts that are found in FlipSwitch, the ones that they've created. Instead, you're going to do 1 discussion assignment per unit, just 1. And I'm calling them current event discussion assignments. So what you'll have in each unit is I'll give you 3 topics. I want you to pick one of the topics and first write 1 paragraph explaining what that topic is. So pretty much giving a summary. As if somebody asked you, hey, what was the Columbian Exchange? And then you would tell them briefly, the Columbian Exchange was this, and write 3 to 5 sentences explaining what that topic is. After you do that, I want you to go and do some research. I want you to find a current event, something that's going on in the world today that relates to your topic. So, for instance, with the Columbian Exchange, that was when goods were traded back and forth between the New World and the Old World. Right now, there's a lot going on about trade. For instance, President Trump is dealing with tariffs because of some decisions that they've made, and that all involves trade. So I could try and tie that in. So I could find a current event article that was written recently about these tariffs and about duties, and I could write 1 paragraph that explains what the article is talking about. So the first paragraph explains the topic that you picked from the 3 things in FlipSwitch. The second paragraph is a summary of the article that you found that relates to the topic you picked. And then for your third paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, you are going to make the connection for the reader. You're going to say how the topic from FlipSwitch and the current event that you picked relate to each other, right? And then after that's done, all you got to do is paste the link at the end of the article, paste the link to the article that you found, and then turn it in. So it's really pretty straightforward. Sometimes students struggle with this because it's hard to go out and find current events. But I think one of the biggest reasons why we study history is so we can make connections from the past to the present. And if we can't do that, then I feel like we've got to work harder. So try really hard to find those current events. If you're struggling, let me know. I can kind of guide you along the way. but it's pretty simple, straightforward assignment. And I promise you that you would much rather do this assignment than the prompts listed in FlipSwitch. There's a lot of those, and they take a lot more time, and I think that this actually gets you thinking more, thinking deeper about history and about the world that we live in today. And so you're just going to submit this in one of the lesson discussion post areas. So there's 6 of those, I believe. No, there's 5 in each unit, and you just need to pick one. Usually people put it on the last one when they get to it. So it's a pretty simple way to do it. So on the lesson that you don't want to do, if you're not going to write it that lesson, in order to move on, you need to write something in the discussion section. So just put a period and then move on. And then when you get to the lesson that you decide to do the current event post, that way you can just paste it in there. Write in a Word document, copy paste it, or write it right in there. It doesn't matter to me. But just make sure you're putting it in there. My suggestion is to do it on the last one. On the last lesson of the unit, go ahead, put it in there, and then we'll be good to go. So again, if you have any questions about current event discussion assignments, let me know. But please, the biggest thing to remember is you are not doing the prompts found in FlipSwitch. You can skip over those and focus just on these current event discussion assignments and put them in the discussion post section. All right. So the last thing you need to do is go complete your video assignment number 1. It is found in our Google Classroom. Like I said, I have added you all to that. You should have received an email inviting you to the class. If you have any problems logging in or don't understand how to do that, let me know. But it's really important to finish these. 1, it helps me to know that you've watched these videos, and it gives you an opportunity to say, hey, Mrs. Gilling, I watched the video and I'm still a little bit confused on the discussions, or I'm still confused on the project. Could you give me some help? It's really important for me to understand that you've seen these videos. But 2, they're worth 5% of your final grade. This is a really easy 5%. Watch a video and turn in a short couple questions. So I encourage you to get those done. But I'm really excited to work with you this quarter and to get your insights on world history. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck with your quarter, guys. Have a good one.